Okay, yep. Now I'm going to share my screen. Okay, share. All right, you guys see it?
Yep.
Yep.
Got it.
Is it big?
You want to, yeah, it is big, but you just need to go into,
Oh, yes.
presentation
Yes,
mode.
presentation
And
mode,
then
yep.
You're on the last
Got it.
slide. So you want to go to the first slide.
All right. Oh, yes. Darn it.
No worries.
All right, there we go.
It. Yeah.
We're ready.
So, and then I don't know. Let's see. I lost something here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to start us off here. Welcome everyone that's joining us on Facebook. So we appreciate having you here. And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to type it into the chat. And if we don't get to you while we're giving this presentation, we will get to you afterwards. So we love to hear our comments from people that just happen to, be scrolling away and stop and listen to what we have to say. So feel free to share those comments. And anyone that's here on our Zoom live, I just want to say thanks so much for taking a few minutes to join us. I know that you all have a lot of other things that you could be doing. So we really appreciate you taking the time to get onto this Zoom tonight. And so you're gonna learn about, you're here to learn about the shred. So let's just get right into it. My name is Kristen. I'm a registered dietitian, and I've been doing a monthly shred for over 5 years, into my 6th year now. So why do we even need to shred? And there's 2 main reasons. So first of all, we're exposed to toxins really from the time we're born. They're in the air, they're in the water, the soil, the foods we eat, the products we use, such as plastics, and even the products that we put on our skin. And these toxins end up in our body and wrap up in our fat cells. And luckily, we have a liver, which is our main organ for getting toxins out of the body. But for the liver to do its job efficiently, it must have the right nutrition, which is generally fruits and vegetables. And that brings me to the second reason that we need to shred, is because 90% of us, and I'll just repeat that, 90% of us are not eating enough fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. So, and what we are eating isn't as nutritious as it was 50 years ago. And this is due to a lot of reasons, including the nutrient depletion in our soil, increased consumption of processed foods, our food being picked before it's ripe and shipped thousands of miles before it's sold, and our access to cheap fast food. So, but the point is if we don't get enough plant nutrition, our body can't properly get rid of toxins. And if toxins build up in our bodies, it leads to all kinds of complications, including poor energy, poor sleep, health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, digestive problems, autoimmune disease, and even some cancers. So in addition, weight management is more difficult when we have excess toxins in our body. And here's why. Toxins are fat soluble. That means, like I said before, that toxins wrap up in fat cells. And when we go on a traditional diet, as is depicted in the top part of the diagram, we burn calories through diet and exercise. But unless we're getting like 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables on a daily basis, the foods that the liver needs to get the toxins out of the body, the toxins stay in the body and they seek more fat to wrap up in. And that's what creates the yo-yo dieting that you can see in the top picture, as the toxins stay in the body, even though the fat is burned off through diet and exercise. And then the toxins encourage fat to reaccumulate. On the other hand, if we concentrate our efforts on flooding the body with fruits and vegetables to give the liver the nutrition it needs to get rid of the toxins, the body doesn't have to hold on to the fat, and the fat can more easily be shed, resulting in more efficient fat loss and ultimately easier and more permanent weight loss, as is depicted in the bottom part of the slide, where toxins are eliminated first, resulting in a better way to keep the fat off. So the key is to get more fruits and vegetables into our bodies. And when we do the shred, well, first of all, I've been a dietitian for 30 years, and this sounds so easy, but ultimately very few people are accomplishing this. Like I said right in the beginning, 90% of us are not getting enough fruits and vegetables on the daily. So knowing how important it is, the shred is centered around getting as much produce in our bodies as possible. And we do this through making fruits and vegetables the foundations of our meals and snacks, and using whole food plant powders to ensure our liver is getting the nutrition it needs to get the toxins out of the body and ultimately improve our health. So we use a product called Juice Plus, and it's simply 30 different non-GMO, pesticide and herbicide-free fruits, vegetables, and berries that are ground up and made into powders or gummies. It's not a substitute for eating fruits and vegetables, but it helps by bridging the gap between the 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables we should be eating and what we're actually eating. It's simple, it's easy, and it's a cost-effective way to get a lot of produce into our body very quickly. So in addition, when we shred, we also use a plant-based protein powder that puts good calories in our body, good macronutrition in our body. It helps us to feel full. It cuts down on food cravings by stabilizing the blood sugar, and supports gut health because it contains prebiotics. I've talked about the first guideline of the shred, and I'm going to turn it over to Lisa. She's just going to quickly run through what some of the other guidelines are of the shred, but really what we want to do here in the next few minutes is share stories of people who have shredded and how they're doing. So go ahead and take it away, Lisa.
Thanks, Kristen. Okay, so like Kristen said, the shred guidelines, they're pretty simple to follow. We want to add more plants, like what Kristen said, all the fruits and vegetables we can get our hands on, plus the capsules, the Juice Plus capsules or the gummies. We want to have 1 to 2 servings of the complete shakes that Kristen showed us earlier. What in any form, you can have it in a shake, you can make a pudding out of it. We have a cookbook that has amazing recipes to get in the 2 servings of the complete a day. We want to drink plenty of water, which we should be doing anyway, so that the toxins can leave our body. It helps it, leave through, our sweat and urine. And waste, especially when we drink plenty of water to get them all out. We want to exercise and take deep breaths so that we can clear our mind, clear our body, and 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So important on the regular anyway, but especially during the shred, because our body is already working overtime to get rid of these toxins. We need to let it rest so that it can do its job while we're sleeping. And again, like I said, exercise most days. We want to reduce or eliminate caffeine and alcohol, eating after 6 p.m. and processed foods, and eliminate gluten, dairy, and artificial and refined sugars. And through our stories, we'll kind of talk about that a little bit more, but Kristen did say why. Remember, and keep in mind while we're telling our stories, the picture of the I hate to say it, the fat man and the skinny man, but the one that has all the toxins in it, and the one pick the part of it that doesn't. And then you'll start to understand a little bit more. And when we do these guidelines, these things happen. We start craving more fruits and vegetables. We stay at a healthier weight. We have better recovery from workouts and even illness and like surgeries as well. Improved sleep, increased energy, healthier hair, nails, and skin. Our regularity is improved, and mental clarity. So, I mean, all of these things, how could you say no when all of these things can happen? And now we are going to share some stories, and Kristen has some questions for our guests tonight, Tony and Joanna. And here's their slide picture. Wow.
Yeah. Tony and Joanna, they've had quite the awesome transformation in our group. And Joanna reached out to me. It was the end of November in 2020. So it's been a little over a year now, but not quite a year and a half. And she just said, hey, we're ready for a little bit of a lifestyle change. And I know Tony and Joanna, I'm not sure which one of you wants to answer this, but I know when you first started shredding, it was really Joanna I talked to, and weight loss was not even a goal of yours. And
Nope.
you just decided, was there any point where weight loss became the goal?
No,
No.
no, I didn't start it for weight loss. Over the years, I had tried weight loss. I've counted calories and, a lot of things and not really any luck. So I didn't think that that was even a possibility. So, so
Yeah.
it was something that it was a bonus, it really was
Yeah.
to lose weight.
And so we're about 15 months out now since you've been shredding with us. And over that time, you and Tony have lost a collective 90 pounds together, which is just amazing to me. And maybe, I don't know, who knows, you reported that like about a month to me. So it could be even a little bit more. I'm not sure. But I kind of want to know, like, what do you think about this shred? Was, like you said, you've tried other diets in the past, and what do you think about this shred, like, made weight loss, like, so I don't want to say effortless, because you had to make some lifestyle changes, but how do you think you were able to lose weight without even concentrating on losing weight?
Yeah, I really don't know how it happened, but I mean, I just know following the guidelines, and I mean, we used to eat out a lot, and really since we've started taking in so many fruits and vegetables and berries, we just don't have that, desire anymore. And if we do, we haven't done this on a perfect note. We do still grab food, and then we look back and we wish we hadn't have. But definitely the guidelines have been huge. Eating before 6, that's been a major. I really, really can tell if we go past that. And it just, I don't know, just the guidelines in general. It was kind of intimidating at first because I thought, oh my goodness, I can't eat meat because we're meat eaters, and so it was hard at first, but one guideline at a time, and it's huge. It really, really is.
And the guidelines don't actually, we don't say you can't eat meat. So
no,
we just say eat more fruits and vegetables. And Tony,
exactly.
I know that you've had some, your health has changed. Like, what has improved for you since starting to shred? Like maybe lab results, or, on paper, what has changed for you?
Yeah, everything. We're these slides are so, we've seen these slides before, but it really hits home when, and it's so true. Every slide, and it's just life changing, the shred and taking the Juice Plus, and, my lab results, the cholesterol, has plummeted. My A1C is down to like 5.6. When it was almost over 6, I was getting pre-diabetic. And just, everything. My doctor is just ecstatic on the blood work that I've had a couple times now while we've been doing the shred, taking the Juice Plus, and all my levels are pretty much perfect.
That's awesome. Your doctor should be getting all of his other patients on this program.
Exactly.
Either one of you can answer this. What one piece of advice would you give somebody that was considering doing a shred?
Do it. It's we're healthier from the inside out. And so, and we're proof of that. We haven't counted the first calorie or done anything like that, like previous. And I used to be 30 years ago, I was pretty much no fat eater, working out and all that stuff. And I'm almost down to weight wise what I was 30 years ago. It's just life changing. To do the shred and take the Juice Plus.
Just one guideline at a time, and you can do it. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, and that's so true. Like, you look at the guidelines, and sometimes people will be like, "Oh, there's no way I could give up coffee, so I can't shred," And we're like, "Oh my gosh, just keep drinking your coffee and do something else. Like, do one thing." It doesn't like this is when we talk about a lifestyle. I'm always talking about. I would rather see one change forever than 20 changes for a month or even a year. 20 changes for a year in the scheme of life is not really going to be that helpful. So thank you so much for sharing your stories, you guys. You are amazing. You're really a testament that of the essence of our shred group. You've taken it slow and steady and just kept plugging away. You show up every single month to keep working on these guidelines, and you really have made the shred become a lifestyle. So thank you again for hopping on here and sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then,
Woo,
yeah,
so
I
amazing,
think
so amazing.
it is amazing.
Woo,
So
yeah. Oh, that scares me.
Yeah, I
Probably
hate
the way
to
you
see
guys
the
feel when
before
looking at your
pictures
picture,
of us,
right?
too.
yeah. So this here is Lisa. You've heard from Lisa just a little bit because she was talking about the guidelines, but Lisa, amazingly, before she even started shredding, she kind of hit a health crisis in her life, and she decided, or she was seeing the health crisis of the future if she didn't make a change. And so around the time that she turned 50, she was like, once and for all, I'm going to stop the cycle of 27 years of yo-yo dieting, and I'm going to get my weight under control. She had lost and gained the same 50 pounds for about 25 plus years. So there came a point when she was like, enough is enough. She really educated herself, I think, really on macros and how to, calorie counting, macro counting, and was able slowly and steadily to lose 50 pounds and keep it off. The thing is, she really she really was adamant that this time she was not going to gain that weight back. And as hard as she tried, and she was still following all of her macro guidelines and whatnot, she started to see at the end of it, she started to see that weight just creeping up a little bit, even though she was following all the guidelines that she had been following for the 3 years that it took her to lose the weight. And so she decided to really focus on the shred and see what it can do. And how did the shred help you to kind of nip that yo-yo cycle in the bud for the last time?
Well, I was so excited that I finally had lost that 50 pounds, and I, just like you said, it was going to be different. I was not going to yo-yo again. So you can understand my anxiety when I started to notice the weight coming back on for no good reason. And if we go back to Kristen's science lesson from earlier, when I originally lost that 50 pounds and started leading that healthy lifestyle, I wasn't following any guidelines, that other than, putting good food in my body. But the guidelines that I shared earlier, I wasn't doing that to eliminate the toxins. Now think about how many toxins were left in my body from that 50-pound weight loss that was just running rampant and wreaking havoc everywhere. So now I know why I was having trouble maintaining my weight. My body was trying to protect itself by collecting whatever fat was going in there to protect me and my organs from it. So now just imagine if I would have had that, if I would have been doing the weight loss, journey alongside of shredding. I know people don't like to say the saying anymore, but I would have killed two birds with one stone, basically. And now I am still maintaining my weight without having to count macros or calories or track my food intake anymore. So
I love it. And the other thing that you noticed was that having those extra toxins in your skin or in your body sort of wreaked havoc on your skin too, because and you found yourself in a situation where you had acne for the first time really in your life. You hadn't had it as a teenager. So how did increasing those fruits and vegetables and decreasing your toxic load, how did that help your skin?
Well, like you said, like I didn't have acne before. And then towards the end of my weight loss journey, all of a sudden it was, not just acne, it was cystic acne, which is the worst kind. And it was worse than I've seen on teenagers before. And, and I was at a loss again, and I couldn't understand how I was eating healthy, working out, taking care of myself, that led to cystic acne. Again, I had no idea. I went to the dermatologist, and of course, what are they going to do? They're going to put you on medication. So I was on medication, and it really wasn't helping. And he kept saying, just give it a chance, just give it, it'll start to kick in. And, and here I was at 50 looking like a 15-year-old. So back to that darn science lesson again, the toxins, not just made me gain some unwanted weight, but it also created so much inflammation in my body that it took it out on my poor face. And needless to say, once I started shredding and eating more fruits and vegetables consistently, and taking my Juice Plus capsules and following those guidelines, within 4 months, my face was cleared up and I was off that dumb antibiotic my doctor prescribed for me. And I was also seeing that my skin was more supple. It looked like it was I had more hydration in there, and I was still drinking the same amount of water that I always do. And I really especially noticed it in my upper arms, where it was starting to look a little bit crepey up there, as we get older, that happens. But I can honestly say, now I'm 54, I was 50 then, that it's tight and smooth and it's not crepey anymore. So knowledge is power, you guys. Knowledge is power.
I love that. And finally, Lisa, this is the thing that I just really love about you. Even when I met you, I can tell that your relationship with food is different today than it was 3 years ago when you first, or 3 or 4, whenever you started shredding with us. And I just, I want you to speak just a minute or so to that. Like, just how has your relationship with food changed?
Well, first, it's actually helped me become friends with food. Like, I'm friends with food now. It's not my enemy like it used to be. I understand that it is fuel, and it's neutral. Food is neutral. There are foods that fuel us more than others. And you know what? The Shred 10 cookbooks and the lifestyle has given me tools that I need to stay the course, and the knowledge to know what is happening to my body, actually. And I'm not gonna lie, Kristen started me out on this obtaining knowledge journey, and I haven't stopped. And it's so empowering to know just that, food is just here to help us, and we choose the way we want it to help us, basically. And it's so empowering too, to understand that what great things food can do for our body, and what bad things technically it can do for our body as well. So I took a step further and started school. And after this week, actually, I will be a health coach with a nutrition emphasis. So it's done a lot. Like, it's just my whole mindset around food is completely changed. And I really think that it is mostly due to, once I jumped into the shred, it really did. It changed the way I looked at food completely.
Right. The Shred is not a program for us to focus on good foods and bad foods. We just focus on food. We focus on trying to get nutritious food that will fuel your body well into your body, and go from there. It's a process. It's a journey. It's not about being right or wrong or good or bad or any of those things. So we really we spend time in the Shred, really focusing on things like that. And Lisa is now one of our Shred coaches, so we love her in there. And I know both Irene and I have had surgery since shredding, and I think we can. I can just say really quick, and then I'll have Irene share her quick story. But I know that I had knee replacement surgery back in July. And my doctor told me it was going to be a whole year of recovery, and 5 months and 20 days later, I was on a ski hill skiing, downhill skiing. And I know that putting that good nutrition in my body, really, I just never had to contend with much inflammation or swelling. And it allowed me to rehab harder and stronger and faster than someone that has to deal with a lot of swelling that impedes the ability to bend your joint and move the way it has to move. And I'm cannot say enough about how quick I've recovered from this surgery at 54 years old. And Irene, you recently went through a surgery too, and just how has that been for you?
Well, I have a lot to compare it against, because in 2002, I had back surgery, and that literally took me about 5 years to recover. And it's because back then I just didn't know what I know now, and what food can do for you. So in 2018, I had neck surgery, and I have 2 screws in my neck. And I made sure, and I was shredding. I had started shredding in 2017, and I started finally taking it really seriously. And literally, I would go back for my checkups and the doctor would do an x-ray and he would show the bone that was growing back around it. And he's like, I've never seen somebody heal as fast as you did. And I healed so well that 8 months later, I actually ran the LA Marathon, which I never thought I would ever do in a million years, but I was feeling so good that I thought I need to challenge myself with something. And my sister was going to run it. So I said, sign me up, let's do it. And to this day, I recover better from workouts. That is huge for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I did Kristen's legs yesterday. Woo, but I got up this morning and I was able to do another workout, a little sore, but back in the day, I would not have been able to do it until the following day.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
'Cause
I love it.
that's a killer one.
Yeah. That leg one was kind of hard.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we'll go ahead and go on into every journey starts with a step. And I think we're going to have Irene go ahead and talk about just kind of what the shred, you know, how you can start the shred and how you can get into our group and whatnot. So take it away, Irene.
All right, great. We put a couple of bundles here together for you guys so you can have an idea on what can get you started. And this is the one I personally do. It's called the Shred Bundle. You're going to get a 4-month supply of your fruit, veggie, berry blends, a 4-month supply of your omega blends, which we didn't talk about, but this hair here was not like this. It was a lot shorter, and I credit my omegas for my skin and my really healthy hair. And you also get 60 servings of the complete whole-based shake mix. That's $150.50 for 4 months, or you can look at it as $5.02 a day for 4 months. And our next bundle is called our Completely Balanced Bundle. That's our 4-month supply of our fruit and veggie blends, 60 servings of our complete shake mix. That comes out to $92 a month for 4 months, or $3.06 a day for 4 months. Our other bundles are our duo and our trio. And our duo is a 4-month supply of the fruit and veggies. And that comes out to $54 a month or $1.80 a day for 4 months. And we have our classic trio, which is the 4-month supply of your fruit, veggies, and berries. And that comes out to $80 a month for 4 months or $2.66 a day for 4 months. Now, I like to use this analogy here. This is Kristen's Grande Decaf Soy Latte, which she enjoys every once in a while. And that comes out to $5.45 a day with tip. If you were to get the Shred Bundle, which is a whole lot of good nutrition, that's $5.02 a day with no tip needed. And I know people, I have friends who go to Starbucks every day and spend that much money. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying this is a little bit better for you.
Right. There is some protein in that soy latte.
Yeah, there is. There's a little bit.
But there's not a lot of anything else. You know, there's no other plant nutrition, and you're not putting the nutrition of 30 different fruits, veggies, and berries in your body. So
Exactly.
if you have to pick one over the other, you know, some days I still do like my latte, but I have sort of when for me that was an easy trade. So, and I think the price of that has actually gone up now.
That's why I actually have given up coffee because of the shred.
So what happens when we join what happens when you join the shred group?
Well, you're going to get a lot of good stuff. You're going to get 4 months of science-backed whole food nutrition that will benefit your health, whether you implement any of your Shred 10 guidelines or not. We always tell people, concentrate on a few guidelines each time. It makes it that much easier. And you're going to get access to our private Facebook group where you'll find recipes, health tips, motivation, inspiration, Kristen's workouts. Maybe you can do a leg workout with us. An accountability group that is growing every month. We're over 350, I think, right? Yeah, 350.
I think so. Yeah.
And you're going to get access to the Shred 10 leaders who can answer your questions, and access to our online resources such as the Shred Guide and Taste of the Shred recipe book, along with a lot of other recipe books that we have in our community. So if this all sounds good to you, you know, get back to the person that invited you, or if you're watching on any of our pages, get back to us and we can get you some more information, because our next shred starts April 4th.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So thanks so much. You want to stop the stream and then we
Thanks,
can.
Facebook, for watching.
Yeah, thank
Bye,
you.
Facebook.
Have a great
Come
day.
join us. Come join us.
Next stream.
And then we can just take it down here on